How far you've fallen. Lining up in the sweltering heat for hours. Huddling together in the dark. Like beasts. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glory.
What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and potentially Phase 4 if they go ahead and call it that. So we are 1 week tomorrow away from finding out what the actual Phase 4 slate will be. But I think we've already nailed it with this video. As you see in the thumbnail, apparently this is every movie that is going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not really sure if I believe it, but except for 1 or 2 of them, it is pretty standard. So what is good, YouTube? If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any videos. I'm your host, Warstu, and we are giving away Captain Marvel on Blu-ray. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel and let me know why I should give you the prize. And also, subscribe and notifications on so I know that you're going to view the video, so when I announce the winner, you'll be there to hear that you've won. So let's go over the Phase 4 potential. So you would have seen on the thumbnail that there is 12 movies on the slate. Now that sounds like a lot because obviously they've only announced 2 for next year, 3 for the year after that, and 3 for the year after that. But this is quite likely because Marvel generally work in 5 to 10 year timelines ahead of themselves, so they very well could announce projects that far ahead. So the first movie is the Black Widow movie. Now we do know there will be some kind of trailer at San Diego Comic-Con next Saturday thanks to Variety.com. But is Variety.com always right? No. But it is a very large publication with hundreds of people working for it, I presume, because it is very, very big and they're verified and everything, which generally means they are really important because to get verified on Twitter and Instagram and everything, it's not easy. So we know the Black Widow movie will be set somewhere after Civil War and before EndGame because there's a 2017 BMW being seen in a car scene, so it obviously can't be too far ahead or too far behind. So then we have the Eternals movie, which apparently will be shooting later this year with major Hollywood stars apparently being in it. Millie Bobby Brown is literally confirming that she's in it by going on Instagram and saying that she's not in it because you don't see any other of the alleged actors like Keanu Reeves and Angelina Jolie coming out on social media saying, guys, I just want to tell you I'm not in it as of this right moment, right now. So as of right now means to me that you've signed a non-disclosure agreement and you cannot say until you walk out on the stage with the rest of the cast. So we have the likes of Keanu Reeves being rumored to be in Eternals, Angelina Jolie, Sandra Bullock, Warstu. Well, no, I'm still waiting for that, but no, I've not been invited to be in it yet. And also Richard Manning, I believe that's how you say him, Robb Stark from Game of Thrones, alongside a bunch of other actors. And we know the Eternals is going to be set hundreds of thousands of years prior to anything else in the MCU. Also, we will see Thanos' parents and maybe a baby Thanos or a younger Thanos. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which we know is coming. James Gunn is back at the helm of that movie, which is very, very interesting. So once he's finished shooting Suicide Squad 2 with Warner Bros. Media, I believe they're calling themselves now, over at DC, he will start working on that. And as we know, that will include the likes of Adam Warlock, potentially Beta Ray Bill, Moondragon, and many, many others. So I was a bit skeptical about this one because it's so early on this image that I was sent over to by someone that it says Spider-Man Dropout. Now, obviously, if you've seen Spider-Man Far From Home, careful spoilers, I don't want to ruin your life, but it's been out over a week now, so spoilers free anyway. So Spider-Man Dropout is a pretty cool title, but the only issue I have with this and the validity of this is Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming. Generally, they have home in the title. So Dropout, as we know, Peter Parker gets exposed at the end of the movie. Would he have to drop out of school if they are going to properly reveal him? Then yes, he would have to drop out, but wouldn't it be Spider-Man Home Dropout or something? They've got to incorporate home somewhere. And as we know, if this movie doesn't hit 1 billion Far From Home, then Sony gets the rights back by default, but that makes no sense because it makes Sony more money for Marvel to make the Spider-Man movies. Because let's be honest, except for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, the MCU movies are better, but saying that Homecoming was pretty bad, but then saying that Far From Home is pretty awesome. So then we have Shang-Chi, a Master of Kung Fu, which will be the first Asian martial arts movie in the MCU. And it sounds pretty fantastic. And the Mandarin could be in it. The Mandarin could be his father somehow. They're going to have to retcon some of the comic book story because they don't own the rights to all the characters. Now, Ant-Man 3 is on this list, which is kind of skeptical because we've had people like Michael Douglas say they're in talks. Then we're hearing people like saying, no, Ant-Man 3 is on hold because of the Fantastic Four movie, because Peyton Reed apparently is bringing out the movie in 2022, but that's been debunked by literally everyone, so it's very fascinating slate. But like I said, there's only a few on here what you could actually question. So the new Avengers, there's going to be a new Avengers movie. If you're saying there's not, then you're very cynical and you're just in denial, because Avengers 3, 2 billion plus, Avengers 4, 2 billion plus. Except for Black Panther and Captain Marvel, there's not been many other Marvel movies that grossed 1 billion. Captain Marvel destroyed Iron Man, Civil War, destroyed everything. Okay, maybe not Civil War, but it destroyed the original Captain America movie, Thor. So the new Avengers movie makes sense. They're going to have to form the new Avengers. So this does make sense. It will come. But whether they announce it at San Diego Comic-Con next Saturday, I'm not really sure about. Doctor Strange 2, yeah, cool, bro. We already know about that. We know about the fact that he's going to have to do it without the Aya Agamotto. And we've got a video coming up later next week to discuss what is going on, because there has been a bit of a plot leak by an insider that was right about everything for Infinity War and EndGame months, well, really last year, like right about things for EndGame, literally 6 months prior to it happening. But then people were like, yeah, but he was at a test screening. Well, no, he wasn't, because you don't know who he is. So it's looking very likely, due to Scott Derrickson, the director, that either Nightmare could be the villain of the movie, that would be pretty cool, or Mordo, who was in the original Doctor Strange movie, who kind of pieced out A-Town because he didn't like the stuff that Stephen Strange was doing. Black Panther 2 would be pretty cool, and that's coming. We know it is. The first one hit 1.1 billion. But can the second movie do that? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. It's really interesting time to see, can Captain Marvel 2 follow up? So Black Panther 2 will be coming. Will they include the T'Challa Storm love romance when they were married? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, because that would kind of mess up everything that they set up in the first movie. And they've recently come out, Kevin Feige's come out and recently said that Ryan Coogler's only just started work on that. So I'm not expecting them to say, yeah, we're going to start shooting Black Panther 2 next year. But this logo could be very realistic. So Captain Marvel 2, yeah, sure, but we're not expecting that for a few years yet. But what is interesting is, during Spider-Man Far From Home, Nick Fury, who turns out to be obviously Talos, said don't invoke a name. So maybe she's gone missing. Maybe that's why Nick Fury's actually formed sword and is on the peak. Maybe that's the reasoning. Now, the next two are a bit skeptical, and the reason I believe this is because there's no X-Men on this, or Deadpool on this. So Fantastic Four in theaters soon. Now, I believe they could be dropping the Fantastic Four within the next 5 years. As we know, generally when they announce a whole slate, they announce up to 5 years in the future. So the Fantastic Four could very well be coming. Now, as I said earlier, Peyton Reed is apparently directing something to do with the Fantastic Four, but as I said, it was also debunked in the same week. And there's insiders going back and forth. It's real, it's not real, it's real, it's not real. Well, until Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige says what it is, no one actually knows what it is. But you've got to be careful, because there's so many fake leaks out there, like Storm in the MCU in the next phase, Neymar or Nomar. You guys love telling me I'm wrong, because obviously there was a reference in EndGame which is actually a reference to Mysterio, and it's got nothing to do with him at all. Then we have Nova, which is interesting, because obviously the director said they tried to include Nova in Infinity War, but for some reason they didn't, because obviously the Xandar, the Nova Corps, he was going to be the last survivor there, and they were going to build up that massive storyline, which would be interesting. But like I said, guys, it's really hard to tell if this is real. But as I said, many many of the stories on this could be real, but there's so many stories out there, like Hugh Jackman is going to be playing Nightmare. Matt Smith, who played Doctor Who, is going to play Nightmare. No, none of them are. It's going to be Joaquin Phoenix, or it's going to be your boy Warstu. Really, guys, there's so many fabricated stories out there. It's hard to believe anything. But like I said, guys, a set for Spider-Man being called Dropout and maybe Fantastic Four, everything else on this alleged plot leak we know is coming. Like, unofficially, we've had all of these confirmed, a set for Fantastic Four and Nova, because we know there will be another Avengers movie. You're in denial if you don't think there will be. Oh, but it was called EndGame. Yes, EndGame, the new Avengers, obviously forming the new Avengers without Captain America, without Iron Man. So it's very realistic. So like always, guys, let me know what you think down below. I will be stockpiling some videos, so if the video upload time is a little bit out of whack and if the videos seem a bit random, they're not random, they're just videos I've been working on for a while. Is Nick Fury a Skrull? I don't know. Was he always a Skrull? Probably not, but people seem to think he is. Is Marvel going to get rid of Spider-Man? Probably not. They're going to fight to get on top of him because they want the creative direction for Spider-Man, and that is the reason why we never had the Sinister Six Green Goblin teaser that every single person wanted, including me. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, share this video absolutely everywhere. You don't realize how much that helps the channel. We recently hit 74,000 subscribers, which is insane. So the grind to 100,000 subscribers is going, but we are getting close to 30 million views. Yes, 30 million views. That is insane for a little channel like this to be anywhere near 30 million views. That is freaking insane, guys. So I just want to say thank you. I'm very appreciative to anyone that likes my videos, that dislikes my videos, that says anything they want, really. Just try and be constructive, guys. Trying to bring positivity, and if you do have any real constructive criticism, just let me know down below. I am fully expecting Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool to come out at San Diego Comic-Con, as I've already said that in a previous video. I think that will be pretty cool. So I've got a bunch of videos coming next week, some DC ones and some really interesting ones, so hopefully the feedback and you guys enjoy them. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe and comment. I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.